juggling gets harder as you go. But by the time you're good at juggling 4 pins, you're ready to juggle a 5th, juggling 4 is still a full-time thing. Just because it's easier than it's ever been does not mean it's going to be easy to juggle 5.
No matter what your success is, health, wealth, love, like the picture on stage in the fitness show, I've been there, I won a fitness show. That picture was awesome. Pretty much everything else that it took to create that picture and to get that trophy was really, really, really hard. And I just think that that's the most important understanding. It is. It's the most important understanding about success, in my honest opinion.
Next Level Nation, welcome back to another episode of Next Level University, where we help you level up your life, your love, your health, and your wealth. We hope you enjoyed our latest episode. Yesterday's episode. It was episode number 1520. Being consistent is so much easier when you understand this. Today, for episode number 1521, why a lot of us end up feeling stuck. So what I say might be funny here, but this is how the episode came to me, and this is what I thought of when I was figuring this episode out. Alan laughed at me. He said, that doesn't really make any sense. And I said, nothing I really say or do does. So I'm just going to roll with it. I think one of the reasons a lot of us feel stuck. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm. Please read it verbatim.
Okay. And I quote.
This is in the notes for everyone, just so you're aware. When he sends me these, we have a shared Google Doc.
Yep.
And he chooses episode topics. We do together sometimes, but sometimes he chooses them alone. And sometimes I do episodes, sometimes he does. He writes a little description. Yes. This is said description.
It's masterful.
So this is all I have to work with, okay,
yes.
Right here.
And I quote, why a lot of us end up feeling stuck. So this is actually what it says. It says Wednesday dash number 1521 dash, why a lot of us end up feeling stuck. Then I usually write out what the thumbnail on YouTube is going to end up being. And this is what I wrote for the breakdown of the episode. Because we get on track and then we fall off track and don't get back on. Get on track and then get back on track. All I mean by that is anytime we think we're done, I think we're setting ourselves up for failure. That's all. That's all I meant by that. If you
why didn't you write that?
Because that's what I was thinking when I said it. I don't know. Tara and I had a conversation the other day. We were talking about the fact that being an adult is challenging. It's very, very hard to be an adult. There's always something to do. There's always something going on. There's always something we're not doing fast enough. We're making a mess faster than we're cleaning up the mess.
And we're not even parents yet.
Well, I'm a cat. No kids for this guy. No kids for this guy. Maybe adoption eventually. I don't know. For now,
that's what I was referring to.
Maybe. I don't know. We'll find out. Cats, definitely. Fur babies, definitely, but they make a mess. And no, I'm not comparing cats to real human babies that you may or may not have. But if you do have them, I was talking to Jerry Ann the other day. I said, look, I don't know what it's like to be you. I get cats, but I know it's nothing like what you got going on. So I all the grace and all the love. So I want to make sure you know I'm not comparing the two. But I think that's life in a nutshell. We build enough momentum to get a certain result, and then we are kind of stuck with that result until we build enough momentum to get another result. And you feel stuck. Or you get all the benefits of your accomplishments up front, and then you feel stuck because you have to continue putting in the work to maintain the accomplishments. What'll happen oftentimes is let me throw another thing. I think another reason we end up feeling stuck is because we get so many results in such a short period of time that we forget what it was like before we had the results. So just as an example, we got 20 Next Level Podcast Solutions clients in the previous quarter, so in Q3. And I remember having a feeling of, I feel like we're stuck at 50 some odd clients or 52 or 53, when in reality, we've only been there for like 30 days. We're not stuck. This is just a new level that I don't know what it all means yet. Mm-hmm. So sometimes feeling stuck can come from perceived lack of progress without having an understanding of the amount of time that's actually gone by. I think that's another one. But the one I really want to focus on is when we're on track, I think we assume we're on track forever. In reality, we're not. you and I are never really on track. We're just more on track than we've ever been, but way less on track than we need to be. Sometimes that can create a stuck feeling of, how are we going to get all these episodes done? How we never get them all done on Monday. I'm not calling us out. I'm not calling you out. I'm not calling us out. But we have 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. on the calendar every Monday, and we'll never get them all done again. Maybe ever. We may never get them. Alan shows up today, and it's 12, and he texted me. He said, I'm running a little behind. It's like, dude, I need the time, so it's good. And then we're just BSing, talking about stuff, talking about business. Alan was fired up today. He came in hot.
Real good.
And we'll get 3 done. We'll get 3 out of our required 7 done. And I had that moment where I looked at my calendar for the rest of the week, and I was like, how are we going to... This week's going to suck. It's going to be a brutal week. But...
Hey, 3 is more than when we started.
100%. That's the thing. We're way more on track than we've ever been, but we feel off track, so you kind of feel stuck.
Now imagine a new podcaster listening to that going, I only do 1 a week.
Well,
3 in 1 day is wild.
Stay there.
Yeah.
Stay with 1 a week.
You ever
Nothing
see
wrong
that
with
scene? Stay as long as you can.
Yes.
Yeah, it's funny.
Talking to the mic about the episode.
Okay.
Also.
It's always funny whenever Kevin struggle bus.
What do you mean?
It's funny.
My brain is clear. Poland Springs water clear. The finest natural springs clear. I am flowing.
So a little behind the scenes here. I am now the CFO of Next Level University, CEO/CFO. And I messaged Kev yesterday about, what was it, Poland Springs water or something?
So when we had the podcast studio, that's when we had a bubbler for the first time, or a water cooler. I didn't even know that was a thing. And when Taryn and I were talking about getting a water cooler, I was like, babe, we got to get a water cooler. Number one, because I drink so much water, but it's the best. They bring it to your house. You always have cold water. Again, I'm very privileged to have that. But yeah, so Alan wanted to take that away from me. He said, hey man, it's like $60 or something every couple months. Do you really need that?
75.57.
What was it,
man? I think it's 75 something.
And well, that's for 6, so that probably lasts us a month and a half, maybe 2 months.
Nice. For clarity, I was not trying to take it away. What I was asking is, from 0 to 10, how much do you value this? He said 20 out of 10.
20 out of 10.
And I got confused. But the point is, I don't want us spending level 7 money on level 3 value, right? So, and we also have a filter here that got put in, so I thought to myself, we could also always put in a filter for your tap water.
I like mine.
Makes it taste a lot better.
I like it, and you will not take
it's
it away
all good,
from me.
man. You do you. If you ever want to know what it's like running a business, imagine Kevin gets 20 clients in Q3, and I text him about how to take away his water.
Yeah, try to take my water away.
It's a good analogy for how to run a business. We're obviously being playful. What's ironic is one of the reasons we can afford the lifestyle that we have now is because we've been so dialed in when it comes to our expenses. So we're being frugal. So optimal. All right, so this episode,
add some value, huh?
I would like to do that.
I know you don't know I can tell by the look in your eyes you have no idea what we're talking about. I got you.
Talk to me.
Why a lot of us end up feeling stuck.
Yes.
Do you want me to read it? I can read it again if you want.
No, please don't. Please don't.
I just make it sure I can. If
That's what I had to work with. Is sometimes we're on track, we fall off track. We should really get back on track. Thank you, and that's it. That's
get on track and then get back on track. Yeah, you're right. Yep.
All right, so this is the analogy that I have. Imagine you. So we coach a couple that is crushing it. Shout out to them. They know who they are. We coach several couples, but you'll know who we are when I talk about this. All right, so they are working towards a home. They're working towards a horsey farm home in the mountains, and we are mathematically on our way. It's awesome, and they're saving a certain amount per month, and it's great. And they're working together as a team. They're on track. Now, let's imagine, fast forward into the future, they buy a home, and let's call it $500,000, so $500,000. Let's say they buy this home. They move in, and they're super pumped, and they post a photo, and they put it on Instagram and Facebook, as they should or should not, depending if they want to, and they have a caption of, we achieved our dream together, and we worked really hard to save for 3 years straight, and we got enough for the down payment, and We got the right real estate agent. We made it work. XYZ. Now, that is awesome. Okay, that is success in a nutshell. I mean, that's what we all strive for. Beautiful home. They got some land. Imagine. Awesome. Now, here's the part of the equation that I don't think is talked about enough, and this is what we talk about at NLU. I believe the world's biggest lie is that success makes life easier. Kevin mentioned earlier that him and Taryn have been talking about how adulting is really hard. Emilia and I, same deal. We have 3 fur babies and a home and 3 businesses between the 2 of us. Awesome. Very, very grateful. But it's a hell of a mountain to climb, and it never really ends. The work never really ends. And if you're an adult who has high responsibilities and who's going for a lot in life, I think responsibilities exponentially increase as you get older. And then eventually at the tail end of your life, the responsibilities start to dwindle because your kids get older and now you have grandkids. It's that kind of thing. But it all depends on your goals. I digress. So let's imagine this couple that we coach moves into this new home, takes the amazing photo. This is the part that you're not seeing. Hey, now we have to either do our own landscaping or afford landscapers. Now we have bigger utility bills. We also have closing costs. This might get a little depressing, by the way, for anyone who wants to buy a home, FYI. Now our heating bill goes up. Now we also have to take care of the property. And we also have a roof that needs to be replaced within the next 5 to 10 years. The basement actually needs a new radiator or humidifier or whatever. I'm just making stuff up. I don't know houses. You know my point.
Hi everyone, my name is Amanda. I am a dental hygienist and a mom of 2 teenagers. I was first introduced to Kevin and Alan about 3 years ago. So that led me to book a consultation with Alan, and I showed up to that call in the lowest spot that I have been at in my entire life. He is a good human that genuinely wants the best in your life, your future, your love, your relationships, your wealth, and if you have the chance to be in the same room or on the same call or have these 2 in your life in any way, then you are blessed.
Now we actually have to clean a bigger place. So now we need to redo the basement and we need to redo the kitchen and the faucet's leaking and our toilet won't shut off and XYZ. And now we have a $2,000 per month mortgage payment. Maybe it's $3,000 actually. In this case, probably more like $3,000. And now we also need homeowners insurance. And now also the taxes went up quite a bit, because now you have to pay taxes as a homeowner. So it's awesome to see the Instagram photo of this young couple, newly engaged, buying a home. That is success, and that's awesome. But don't get it twisted. What's underneath that is nothing but just absolute struggle bus responsibilities. And you can't have one without the other. And I think that that's the world's biggest lie. I really do. And so the more success that you accumulate in life, the more responsibility you will have. And I coach a mom who is the mother of 4, Jerry Ann. She wouldn't mind me sharing this. And I've talked to her behind the scenes. I coach one of her sons. His name's Calvin. And it's awesome. One of my favorite things ever, honestly. It's a genuine dream come true. Shout out to Calvin. But anyways, so she took a picture. Calvin graduated high school, and there was this beautiful photo of their family together. And it was this wonderful photograph. And I talked to her behind the scenes, and I said, isn't it fascinating how that's such an enviable photograph? But the amount of work that goes into cultivating that family, it's a full-time job. And that's the truth, though. Everyone wants to have a magnificent family with a beautiful home and with 4 children and with, graduating high school. That picture perfect moment is beautiful, and I take nothing from that. But that is earned with struggle and with sacrifice and with sometimes suffering and with fear and with vulnerability and with challenge and with growth and with opportunity and with, I could go on and on and on. And so no matter what your success is, health, wealth, love, like the picture on stage in the fitness show. I've been there. I won a fitness show. That picture was awesome. pretty much everything else that it took to create that picture and to get that trophy was really, really, really hard. And I just think that that's the most important understanding. It is. It's the most important understanding about success, in my honest opinion.
I threw my bodybuilding trophies away in a fit of rage.
Well, that makes sense considering.
I don't know if it was Matt or somebody like, you don't want to keep them. I said, no, these are dumb. What am I going to put them on my? No, throw them away. Save the weight. Throw them away. Toss them. Trash. Garbage. I had a breakthrough when you were speaking. This is kind of what I was trying to say in my epic description of this episode. You start by throwing up one ball, one pin, whatever you're juggling. Probably not a chainsaw at this stage. But let's just say it's a pin. You're using a bowling pin. And then you say, I'd really like to get to the stage where I can juggle 2 bowling pins. All right. Well, I have to keep juggling this one. I have to kind of learn how to juggle the second one, and I got to figure out how to kind of connect them. Sorry, now I'm juggling 2. Hell yeah. I'd really love to learn how to juggle 3. You have to learn how to juggle 3 while you're already juggling 2. So it's almost like every time... So this is what I was trying to say with getting on track and then getting back on track. Every time you do something and then you want to do something more, you are doing something more along with everything that you were already doing before. Mm-hmm. Like that game, what is it, Telephone? Is it Telephone where Alan tells me something and then I remember what Alan told me and then I tell somebody something else and then they have to remember what I told them that Alan told me and what I told them. And eventually by the end, nobody has any clue what the hell they're talking about. Because you're 26 people deep and you're saying, there was a zebra who went to the zoo and then he got on a jet ski, went to the boat, got hot dogs, 4 of them, cotton candy, large ice from Dunkin', even though it's in the winter. And by the end, it's just a tangled mess. I think leveling up as a human is very similar to that. So that is my next level. My next level nugget is juggling gets harder as you go. And by the time
get better at juggling.
You get better at juggling. But by the time you're good at juggling 4 pins, you're ready to juggle a 5th, juggling 4 is still a full-time thing. Mm-hmm. Just because it's easier than it's ever been does not mean it's going to be easy to juggle 5. That's my analogy.
A lot of shout-outs to Jerry Ann on this episode. She also said that it gets exponentially harder.
I believe it.
It's not like having your 3rd child is easier because now you know what you're doing. It's actually exponentially more challenging. And what I'll share briefly on this is we were in book club and we were reading Limitless by Jim Quick, as I've talked about. And there's the 8 different modalities of thinking. The chapter 15 was on thinking. And we actually had everyone self-assess 3 things. I went through every single one. I read the description. It was really cool. Self-awareness club is what we joke. Mirror club for book club. And I had everyone say, you're either great at this, decent at this, or not so good. NSG, not so good. And I had everyone write in the chat. And eventually at the end, I had everyone tally up their scores, and I wanted to know the top 3 that you're great at and the top 3 or bottom 3 that you're bad at. For me, my lowest one was musical. I'm not a very good musical person, not good at music. My highest was math and logic. Most people's lowest was math and logic. Super fascinating. So my point here, and for anyone listening, if math and logic is low, please don't shut off to this. I really want to try to make this land. The layers of complexity are exponentially increasing. Kevin and I often joke because we have a 21-person team and 22 departments, and we're doing a lot of stuff, and we're juggling a lot of pins in this analogy. And I say, you ever wonder what it must be like to run Apple? No. And he's like, no. The layers of complexity at a company at that level must be insane. And so whether it's going from 2 kids to 3 kids, or going from, 18 team members to 21, or, 5 departments when we started to 22 now, it exponentially increases the challenge. But in tandem with that, and this is my point, you actually exponentially get better. Because I was in book club, and I was talking about how even if Kevin and I improved by just 0.1% per episode for 1,500 episodes, it leads to 100+ times better. We've gotten probably about 1,000 times better at podcasting, despite the fact that I can't talk right now. But that's the key. If you can improve incrementally along the way, yes, your life will get exponentially more challenging, but you will get exponentially more intelligent, exponentially more capable, exponentially more emotionally aware. There is a way to improve along the way. And quite frankly, I do believe this. It's very hard to sustain level 5 without improving to level 6. So Kevin and I, let's say we're level 7 competent. We're probably playing at level 5 right now. And so I think we're actually more capable than this. I think at times Kevin feels like the opposite. You know, I dragged him to places he wasn't ready for sure.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, if you focus on your improvement proactively, when you do get the success, it won't crush you because you're ready for it. You're preparing. It's just like with Kevin with jiu-jitsu. If he's practicing jiu-jitsu consistently, when he does spar with someone who's good, he's not going to get his ass kicked at nearly as bad as he would if he wasn't practicing.
I did get my ass kicked. Gently. I gently got my ass kicked. I have a quote that has nothing to do with this episode, self-improvement, personal development, anything, but I'd like to share it. I do think, what a hook, right? I do think you'll respect it. Okay. Don't know where it came from. I think I made it up, but I think I made up everything.
Based on the hook, I'm not so sure.
And you'll respect it because it has to do with belief. Any pizza is a personal pizza if you try hard and believe in yourself.
Wait.
Any pizza is a personal pizza if you try hard and believe in yourself.
What is the
point?
Point?
You get a large pizza. It could be, you know how they make personal pizzas? They're very small. They're made for you to eat by yourself. Any pizza could be that if you try hard and believe in yourself.
Oh.
Pretty positive when you think about it.
I like it.
I
respect it. I didn't know what you meant because personal pizza, I didn't
never heard
visualize like a small pizza.
Yeah, see? But you're
remember
not
when Subway started selling pizza? What are we doing here?
I do not remember that, and I probably do not remember that for a reason.
Yeah. Stick to the subs, Subway.
The subs aren't even good. Never mind the pizza. But tisk. Next level nation. Please, if you have not yet and you would find value in, which I do believe you would, join our private Facebook group Next Level Nation, a group of like-minded humans who want similar things out of life. We're going to talk about fulfillment next episode. They value fulfillment, they value growth, contribution, and just getting to the next level. And it's a safe place to be yourself. You can be authentic, you can be vulnerable, and you can meet some friends. We all want more friends who are like-minded. So link will be in the show notes. As always, we'd love to have you there.
If you are like Kevin and I at the beginning of this growth journey, you're sitting there going, why am I the only one so into growth? Why am I the only one who wants to read books and wants to listen to podcasts and wants to improve? And why am I the only one tracking habits or whatever it might be? If you feel that way, monthly meetups every single month were created specifically to come and meet other people like you. Other people that are into growth. So, our 24th Next Level monthly meetup, this is 2 years. This will be our 2-year mark of doing monthly meetups. It's behind the scenes, it's private, it's not recorded. Nothing that you share there is ever going to leave there. What you share there stays there. And Kevin and I prepare the 3 things holding you back from your unique version of success. And we really do work hard on preparing. The last one was absolute fire. People were in the chat. The chat was on fire. Amy L. is now the facilitator, the director of that department. So she's in the chat. Kevin and I are going. We're talking. People are contributing. You can sit there with your mic off and camera off if you want, or you can contribute a ton, assuming that you're not driving while you're listening. But you can be as passive or proactive as you want while you're there. Please join us. The link to register will be in the show notes. Again, this is meetup number 24, 2 years in a row. Woo. 3 things holding you back from your unique version of success.
Tomorrow for episode number 1515, Finding More Fulfillment in Your Life. Alan and I were talking today about how wild this journey has been thus far, and one of the words we use most often is fulfilling. Challenging, yes. Rewarding, yes. Humbling, yes. But fulfilling. Fulfilling is always a word you will hear us using. So we're going to talk about that tomorrow. As always, we love you. We appreciate you. Grateful for each and every one of you. And at NLU, we don't have fans. We have family. We will talk to you all tomorrow.
Keep after it. Next Level Nation.